All right, 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Working Behind the Screens. This is episode 20 of the podcast. I'm Nate Harrington, joined by Matt Galka. Matt in very toasty Phoenix, Arizona. I hear it's going to be kind of warm there, not only this week, but this summer. Can you lend any validity to that?
Yeah, your sources are correct in that. It'll be a nice, beautiful 120 next week, followed by a 119 and a 117. Just gorgeous temps. Open up your windows. Get outside. No, but seriously, don't. It's an excessive heat warning. The thing is, like, I'm not outside running marathons, but I know there are plenty of people outside, construction workers or first responders and all that. They have to work in that a lot more than I do. So I don't know. It'll be my first taste of that kind of heat. We'll see how it goes.
Now, see, when that kind of stuff happens, I know it's the desert. I know it's Phoenix. I know it's Arizona. It's supposed to be hot during the summer, but when that kind of stuff happens, when it gets that hot, are people just like dropping like flies? Are you guys on like heat stroke patrol or something like that? What goes on? Like,
well, it was 110. It was like 109 or 110 a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't really. I mean, I think the people who live here and have lived here for a while, they know the deal. It's like people like me who just got here, and this is their, it's my first go around. Those are the people you got to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, I drink plenty of water, but that's, sometimes you'll have like, I don't know how these people do it. You'll have people on, hiking in that kind of weather, and then they get stuck, and then it's like, oh, geez, here we go.
My God, I can't even imagine. That's just, I'm from Florida, and it's hot down there and sticky and humid and all that, but just when you get temperatures above 100 degrees, I'm sorry, man. I'm looking at some air conditioning. I'm getting inside as much as I can. That's crazy.
It wasn't too bad. Yesterday was 102. It wasn't. I was outside. It really wasn't that bad in like a shady spot. But if you're in the sun, then you can really feel it.
Brutal. Well, my hat's off to you, buddy, for taking that job. That was that's a brave move. Let's see if it pays off for you.
No heroes wear capes, Nate.
Speaking of, well, not speaking of capes. Speaking of heroes, we've got a couple of really fun stories from local news today. One of a guy that I don't even know how you classify this dude. He was an idiot. We'll get to him in a second. It actually happened in my place of work, and we've also got a story out of New York City. And Vandalay Industries makes an appearance on Working Behind the Screens podcast. We'll get to that in a second. Did want to plug our social media, also our website. It's behindthescreenspodcast.com. You can find links to our social media there, Facebook and Twitter. On Twitter, it's at WBTS Pod, and then on Facebook, drop us a line there, give us a follow, Working Behind the Screens. We've got all the information there, too. When a podcast drops, you'll get the link to it in a little description, and you can fire it up. And we're on episode 20, Matt. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for 6 months now. A little bit before the new year happened. So, what are your highlights from the first 19 episodes, I should say?
I thought the first 10 or so episodes, when we had some pretty good guests. I mean, it was kind of hit and miss, but we had some pretty good guests. I don't know if you saw this. If you remember Omar from WBAL Baltimore, yeah, he made some news this past week because he just dropped a rap, an EP called "Reporting Live," and it was him rapping about reporting, and it was like a professionally made video. So Omar Jimenez with WBAL, check that out. He Reporting Live, little shout out for him. I watched it. I mean, dude's got flow. I
would know nothing about flow.
No, me neither. But dude's got it. Dude's got flow. And so shout out to Omar. So I thought we had some pretty good guests. I know personally, you just can't believe we're at episode 20, and neither can I. What a milestone.
What a milestone. Amazing stuff. My highlight is still the sex noises going on during a tennis match in Sarasota. That's just a highlight for me. Love that stuff. Go back in the archives and find that. I believe that's episode 16. But go back and find that. That's hilarious stuff. That will never get old ever. So we've got a couple of funny news stories for you from around the country. Let's get to that one first. It's Operation Vandelay Industries. And Matt, if you know anything about me, I'm a Seinfeld nerd. I'm a hardcore Seinfeld fan. And when I saw this story, it was clickbait for me. I had to click on it. It's fake architect busted in Operation Vandelay Industries. So I don't know how you become a fake architect, but evidently this guy, named Newman, by the way, which is even better. That's another fantastic part of this. And if you're not a Seinfeld fan, it's like Jerry Seinfeld's. What's that?
All of this will go over your head if you're not a Seinfeld fan.
Correct. I would hope our audience would have some tangential knowledge of Seinfeld, but Newman was the main character. Jerry Seinfeld, the main character. That was his arch nemesis, Newman. He was a postal worker that lived down the hall in his apartment building. But anyway, a fake architect named Newman pleaded guilty to fraud after an investigation dubbed Operation Vandelay Industries. It's fantastic. Evidently, this guy was giving fraudulent architectural services in Albany in upstate New York since 2012. A few municipalities were impacted, a couple of businesses. And then he, like I said, he pleaded guilty. He's going to spend two and a half years or so in prison and has to pay $115,000 in restitution. But the funny part is it's Operation Vandelay Industries. I clicked on it. And just laughed my head off. And it begs the question: Are your local police agencies doing the same thing? Do they have funny names for operations and whatnot? That just struck me as funny.
This is a perfect to me, like the police, the Albany police, or the agency that made this arrest, and it's not that they don't take themselves not seriously. Obviously they take themselves seriously, but it's just the perfect example of being self-aware, and like having a little fun with what's going on. And they still caught who they needed to catch. And Seinfeld's near and dear to our heart. I mean, I love Seinfeld too.
Yeah.
And obviously George always wanted to be an architect.
Always
wanted to be an architect, and created Vandelay Industries as a job reference.
No, well, here's the thing. Back in the early years, he made up Vandelay Industries as a way to get in, and this is going to be a deep dive for people. So he made up the company name Vandelay Industries to create a backstory for Jerry's reason for coming to visit him in the city. Jerry was trying to bump into a girl by happenstance, but he needed a reason why he was going to be in the city. So George says, okay, look, I'm an architect and I work for Vandelay Industries. You were coming to visit me. I work in the building. No duh. Perfect. Great. That's the kind of stuff that you got on Seinfeld. And that's the kind of stuff that I think makes that show absolutely timeless.
Art Vandelay.
Art Vandelay. He's an importer-exporter. And it's woven, the Vandelay stuff is woven into the fabric of the show. And it's not the first, early season stuff is not the first reference of it, and it wouldn't be the last. It's kind of woven into the fabric of the show. It's just great.
Just, again, the main crux of this is that this police department is not, they're having a little fun with what they're doing. But just to get back to Seinfeld, did you know this week would have been 30 years since Keith Hernandez was spit on.
Whoa!
Allegedly by Newman and Kramer.
Yeah.
In the show. So it wasn't the 30th anniversary of that episode.
No.
It was the 30th anniversary of that incident of actually being spit on.
So you got it a little bit backwards. Keith Hernandez was supposed to be the spitter.
Oh, okay.
Kramer and Newman were the
The victims. They were the victims.
The victims, yeah. Another classic episode. That was actually a two-parter that came out right around the time that JFK came out. The Oliver Stone movie with jeez, I'm losing it.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. My God.
Yes.
So Kevin Costner was in that, and for some reason, sometimes I get Kevin Costner and Mel Gibson confused. I don't know why I do that. Anyway, so it was about the same time, and the funny part about it was that it hit both Kramer and Newman, and it was